My name is Adam LZ. I'm an automotive YouTuber, and we are here at the Garrett booth at SEMA 2018. So my friend and I built this 3.4 liter 2JZ about a year and a half ago, and it was supposed to go in my current drift car, which is S15. I ended up really liking the engine and the setup that I had in that car, and I got a little scared to overcomplicate things and put this in that car. So the idea kind of came up to do a new build and kind of from the ground up, really over the top, proper race car. And one of my friends happened to have an S15 shell laying around, so it kind of presented the perfect opportunity to build a car that I dreamed of having and never thought I'd have the opportunity to have. Initially, the plan was actually to build this car in my garage with one of my friends, and it kind of turned into being so involved with the other projects that I had and realizing that we didn't have the space, the tools, or the capabilities to produce the car to the level that we wanted. And I was fortunate enough to team up with Enjuku Racing about an hour down the road from me, and we were able to create the most absurdly well-built car possible. The engine is a 3.4 liter stroker, Brian Crower stroker kit, 2JZ VVTi with a Garrett GTX 3584 RS, with nitrous also as a spool aid. It's gonna be an extremely torquey engine. It'll be in boost pretty much all the time. There won't really be any sort of lag. And I'm really excited. I've never driven a setup like this, so I can't tell you how it feels until I drive it, but I know it's gonna be something crazy. There wasn't really any other option other than Vibrant for the fabrication components of the car. Yeah, definitely my absolute favorite thing on the car made by Vibrant are the HD clamps. I never even knew that something like that existed. I'm still used to using, on my other cars, just your traditional coupler and your hose clamp, where that, like being able to pull off your intercooler piping in just a couple seconds and have a clamp that can hold, I don't know is it like 60 PSI or something absurd? 800 PSI. The welds will bust before the clamp. Did you hear that? 800 PSI. I didn't know it was that much. That's crazy. With a car like this, being able to service it quickly, whether it's for a race or just because you're at the track and you want to fix and get back out on track, that's very important. So there's a lot of time spent by Enjuku going into how they were going to fabricate and design everything in the car and make it extremely serviceable and extremely easy to work on. Probably my favorite thing with this car is because we actually had time. I know it still was a last minute rush for SEMA, but because we had time and there was no rush to get this ready for some big competition, we were able to put a lot of time into little details, especially the interior. I'm very much so a fan of simple but clean and functional interior, and the way that Bub designed everything from the billet shifter plate to the suede dash, to how the switch panel is laid out. Everything is so intentional and so aesthetically pleasing, because that's what you see, that's what you feel as a driver. Based on the turbo setup that we have on the car and all the components of the engine and my knowledge of other people with similar setups, I would estimate the car should make somewhere between 650 on the very, very low boost side to probably somewhere around 750 before this turbo setup gets maxed out or we have to switch to a different, bigger AR on the hot side. It was really awesome when we were putting everything together, getting the car plumbed last minute, Vibrant having everything readily available and just being able to get all the parts that we needed. And man, I wish you could see it right now. I know you can't see underneath the car, but the way that the 4-inch oval exhaust came out is so rad. Being able to have a 4-inch exhaust but actually tuck it up that high so I'm not constantly scraping it on things, it's really gonna let that turbo breathe, and I think it's gonna sound cool. I've never heard a car with a 4-inch oval exhaust, but if you want to follow me or any sort of update with the car, probably the best place to check me out would be either on Instagram or YouTube, and all you have to do is just search Adam LZ, and I will be documenting this car and what power it makes, how it does on the track, pictures, all that stuff, and hopefully keep it in one piece.